Did you know that there's 2 different ways to do the chain stitch? Some stitchers prefer one method over the other, so let's see both. For the traditional chain stitch, you start by bringing your needle up where you would like your stitches to begin. Then pass your needle through the same hole you just came up from, creating a loop. While holding the loop with your non-needle holding hand, bring your needle up a stitch's length away from where your first stitch began. Now drape the loop from your first stitch over the needle and then pull the needle and thread. You've created your first chain stitch, now just repeat. Oftentimes, beginner stitchers will struggle with this because it helps to have both hands, and most beginner stitchers don't have a hoop stand, and the tension with this stitch can be a little tricky for beginners. And that's where I think the reverse chain stitch comes in handy. Personally, I really didn't enjoy this stitch until later on in my stitching journey. To end the traditional chain stitch, you just tack the last chain down by pushing the needle down on the opposite side of it. For the reverse chain stitch, you'll start by making a small straight stitch. I like to call this the anchor stitch. Next, bring your needle back up a stitch's length away from your anchor stitch and then pass your needle under the anchor stitch. Now push your needle down where that stitch began and you've created your first chain link. Again, bring your needle back up a stitch's length away from your previous stitch. Now try passing the eye of your needle under your previous chain link. Back down where you began, and that's your second chain link. I think using the eye of the needle to pass under the stitch is helpful because it's less likely to split the threads. I think this method is great for beginners because you don't need both hands to do it, and I think you're far less likely to get that wonky tension that you'll get sometimes with the traditional chain stitch. And as you can see, the reverse chain stitch is the literal reverse of the traditional chain stitch. Which method do you prefer?